9 slot machines, flashing lights, blockbuster brands, and promises of fortune. Yet, according to ex-casino insiders, these are the games you almost always lose on. The house edge here isn't just mathematical, it's psychological, with low returns, deceptive near misses, and wins that are actually losses dressed up in celebration. Why do they keep drawing in regulars, even after crushing $12,000 losses? The machines look fun, but the odds are rigged in ways most players never realize. So which games top the blacklist, and how does the illusion work? The answer could change how you see every casino floor. Frank, a retired teacher, spent 2 years chasing the Wheel of Fortune quarter slot at Bellagio. He loaded over $40,000 into the machine, but when he finally stopped, his loyalty card history showed just $28,000 cashed out, a net loss of $12,000. The game's bright wheel and celebratory music create the image of a slot where anyone could get lucky. But behind the spectacle, the numbers tell a different story. Wheel of Fortune quarter runs at an average return to player of just 86 to 88%. For every $100 wagered, the machine keeps 12 to 14, far below the 96% standard found online or on higher denomination slots. The wheel bonus, the feature that draws crowds, lands only once every 300 spins on average. Most bonuses pay out 20 to 30 times the triggering bet, rarely enough to offset the steady drain of regular play. Internal casino memos from 2018 confirm that licensing fees for the Wheel of Fortune brand can eat up to 20% of the machine's revenue, forcing casinos to set these slots at the lowest legal return to player. Frank's losses are not unusual. Shift logs and player records show similar patterns for regulars drawn in by the game's promise. The big wheel, the lights, the sound, they're all designed to distract from the math. For many, the result is a slow, relentless loss disguised as entertainment. Bold overlays warn, bonus approximately 1 per 300, average 20 to 30 times bet, return to player 86 to 88%. Red X, avoid. Sex and the City slots draw in players with familiar faces, glittering lights, and a soundtrack that celebrates every spin. A bachelorette group led by their outspoken friend Lisa sat down convinced they would enjoy a night of fun without breaking the bank. Their session felt like a string of wins. Bells chimed, screens flashed, and the machine played congratulatory music even when the payout was less than their wager. The group left thinking they had broken even, but casino records told another story. A net loss of $2,000 over the course of the evening. Sex and the City runs at a return to player of 88 to 90%, placing it below industry averages. The main bonus triggers about once every 200 spins, but most features return less than 50 times the triggering bet. The real catch is the machine's use of losses disguised as wins, or LDWs. Every time the reels land on a combination that pays out less than the bet, the game still erupts in celebration. Lights, sounds, and even character animations. This feedback loop conditions players to associate any feedback with success, even as their balance steadily drops. Behavioral research shows that LDWs extend play sessions and increase the amount wagered. The machine's designers know that the thrill of celebration, even for a net loss, keeps players glued to their seats. Lisa later admitted she never realized how much they had lost until reviewing her loyalty card. Sex in the City's audiovisual praise masks the real math, making it one of the most deceptive games on the floor. Overlays warn, bonus approximately 1 per 200, average less than 50 times bet, return to player 88 to 90%. Red X, avoid. A single night at the Game of Thrones slot can unravel even the most disciplined player. The draw is obvious. Cinematic graphics, iconic music, and a sprawling bonus wheel that promises the chance to double or even quadruple every win. But beneath the surface, the odds are quietly stacked against anyone tempted by the gamble-up feature. Game of Thrones machines run at a return to player between 86 and 89%, already well below most casino standards. The real danger comes after a rare bonus hit. Instead of cashing out, players are offered the choice: double their win or lose it all on a single press. A local regular, known for his love of the show, landed a $200 bonus after 2 hours of dry spins. Faced with the glowing "gamble up" prompt, he risked it all, only to watch the screen flash red and his bonus disappear. Over the next few hours, frustration took over. He chased losses through another string of Targaryen and Stark modes, but the machine's droughts proved relentless. By the end of the session, his loyalty card showed a net loss of $1,500. Internal data confirms that the Gamble Up feature is a negative expectation game. The odds are never posted clearly, and most players lose more than they ever double. Operator dashboards highlight the long dry spells. Some modes can go hundreds of spins without a meaningful bonus, encouraging risk-taking when a win finally lands. The cycle is familiar: a small win, the temptation to double, and a spiral of mounting losses. Game of Thrones rewards bold choices on screen, but in the casino, pressing your luck usually means losing it. Overlays warn: return to player 86 to 89%. Average bonus 20 to 80 times bet. Gamble Up, negative expected value. Red X, avoid. 8 hours in front of Buffalo Gold can wear down even the most determined player. A marathon regular, tracked by loyalty logs, cycled through $4,000 in a single session, 12 bonus rounds, none of them above break-even. The promise of a super bonus keeps players locked in, but the reality is a punishing distribution. Buffalo Gold's RTP sits between 88 and 90%, with the main bonus feature triggering roughly once every 150 spins. Most bonuses pay less than 50 times the triggering bet. The real lure is volatility. The game dangles the possibility of a massive payout, but delivers only a handful of small wins scattered across long stretches of dry play. Internal performance data shows that while a rare super bonus can reach 300 or even 500 times a single bet, the vast majority of sessions end with a slow, steady drain. The distribution curve is brutally top-heavy. Almost all players experience repeated small wins, just enough to keep hope alive, while the big jackpots remain out of reach. The psychological pull comes from near-miss rows of buffalo and bonus symbol teases, keeping players convinced that the next spin might change everything. By the end of the session, exhaustion sets in. The math doesn't care how long you've played or how much you've lost. High volatility doesn't mean generosity. It just means bigger swings, and for most, a faster bleed of the bankroll. Overlays warn: bonus approximately 1 per 150, average less than 50 times bet. RTP 88 to 90%. Red X, avoid. 6 months of daily notes fill the margins of a battered diary, each page tracking the lightning link. Happy Lantern. The player behind it, a former engineer, logged 300 hold and spin bonuses, counting every near miss, every payout, every dry spell. The pattern was relentless. The hold and spin feature, Lightning Link's signature, showed up once every 80 to 100 spins, just as the math predicted. But the payoff rarely matched the buildup. Most features paid between 8 and 15 times the triggering bet, barely enough to notice after hours of steady play. Only 8 bonuses, out of 300, ever crossed the 100 times bet mark. By the end of the experiment, the diary showed a net loss of $12,000. The machine's design leans on the illusion of possibility. 5 lantern symbols appear, the music swells, and the 6th seems just out of reach, again and again. Technicians confirm that the real strips are loaded with blanks and near-miss lanterns, making the bonus feel close on almost every spin. The anticipation keeps players locked in, convinced the next round will deliver. But the numbers are fixed. Lightning Link Happy Lantern runs at an RTP of 87%. The average bonus payout is a fraction of what the flashing lights promise. Session logs and operator data reveal the intent. The near-miss engine isn't a fluke, it's a retention tool, engineered to maximize time on the machine. The longer the player stays, the more the math asserts itself. The diary's final entry is blunt. Always feels close, never enough. Overlays warn. Hold and spin approximately 1 per 80 to 100. Average 8 to 15 times bet. RTP 87%. Red X, avoid. A familiar face on the casino floor, the Panda now welcomes players to Dragon Link Panda Magic, a game that looks fresh but quietly tightens the screws. The appeal is instant: animated lanterns, a gentle soundtrack, and a hold and spin bonus that promises excitement every hour. But the numbers tell a different story. Panda Magic is configured with a base return to player of just 86%, placing it among the lowest of the new wave of linked progressives. The main bonus feature triggers about once every 70 spins, slightly more frequent than some siblings, but with a catch. The average payout is roughly 30% lower than on classic Dragon Link titles. Operator dashboards reviewed over the last year show a clear trend. Panda Magic's player hold, the percentage of money kept by the house, runs 12 to 18% higher than the older games it replaced. Minutes from strategy meetings confirm the intent. Casinos swap out legacy machines for Panda Magic to boost floor yield, using real-time performance data to justify the change. The new cabinets look inviting, but the math is designed for longer sessions and smaller average wins. One regular, a retiree who tracked his results over 3 months, noticed his average bonus dropped from $120 on the old Dragon Link to just $85 on Panda Magic, despite playing the same bet size. He described the experience as death by 1,000 spins. The promise of frequent features keeps players engaged, but the payouts rarely cover the cost of chasing them. Overlays warn, bonus approximately 1 per 70. Average bonus down 30%. Return to player 86%. Household up 12 to 18%. Red X, avoid. Tony's loyalty card tracked over $300,000 in wagers on 88 fortunes across 2 years. But he never saw the grand jackpot. Mortgage records from the same period show his home slipping into foreclosure, while the casino's system flagged him as a high-frequency progressive chaser. The machine's golden Fubat and shimmering reels sell a dream. Hit the grand, and everything changes. But behind the promise, the math is merciless. 88 Fortunes runs at an RTP of about 88%, meaning for every $100 played, the machine keeps 12. Most of that return is locked up in the regular game and the smaller mini and minor jackpots, which drop with enough frequency to keep hope alive. The grand is what draws players in, but the odds of hitting it hover around 1 in 10 million spins. No amount of bet increases or gold symbol upgrades will improve those odds. The grand is a flat probability event, triggered randomly and almost never for any given player. The belief that betting more boosts your grand chances is a myth, confirmed by the game's own payable fine print and internal operator data. Casino performance sheets break down the payout bands. Mini jackpots hit about once every 150 pick bonuses, minors about 1 in 400, majors roughly 1 in 2,000. The grand is so rare that even staff may never witness a hit during their entire tenure. Tony's story is not unique. Forum threads and loyalty card histories are filled with similar tales, players convinced they're due, only to walk away empty. Chasing the grand is a statistical dead end, no matter how much is wagered. Overlays warn, grand odds approximately 1 in 10 million, mini and minor frequent, RTP 88%, Red X, avoid. A single bonus hit on Wheel of Fortune, triple extreme spin, can feel like a turning point. The main wheel lights up, music swells, and the tiered ladder appears. Bronze, silver, gold. Each level promises bigger rewards, but the real game begins after the first win. Players are offered a chance to gamble up, risking their entire bonus for a shot at the next tier. The odds are never posted clearly. Internal audits and technician interviews confirm the base RTP hovers between 85 and 87%, among the lowest on the floor. The bronze tier is the most common, paying out between 10 and 50 times the triggering bet. Silver lands less often, with payouts from 50 to 200 times. Gold is almost mythical, rarely seen, and even then, most slices pay far less than the 1,000 times bet top prize flashing on screen. The Gamble Up feature is where the math quietly turns. Only about 1 in 4 attempts to move from bronze to silver succeed. The jump from silver to gold is even steeper, fewer than 1 in 10 make it. The expected value of gambling up drops by as much as 15% compared to taking the initial win, according to regulatory filings and slot mathematicians. Most players, lured by the promise of a bigger payday, end up forfeiting their original bonus. A regular known as the silver to gold gambler described his sessions as a series of emotional highs and crushing losses. He hit silver 3 times in a weekend, gambled each one, and lost them all. The screen celebrated every attempt, but his bankroll told another story. The game's design rewards risk-takers with lights and sound, not with money. The latter is engineered for drama, not for player profit. Overlays warn. Bonus approximately 1 per 140. Bronze 10 to 50 times. Silver 50 to 200 times. Gold rare. RTP 85 to 87%. Gamble Up, negative EV. Red X. Avoid. A widow in her 70s sat alone at Ultimate Firelink, Tiki Fire, quietly feeding in her late husband's life insurance payout. Over the course of 2 months, her loyalty card tracked more than $18,000 wagered, but she never once saw a bonus that covered even half her losses. The Tiki Fire's hold and spin feature triggers about once every 60 to 80 spins, but the outcome is almost always the same. Exactly 6 fireballs land, activating the bonus, and then nothing more. The average bonus returns just 5 to 20 times the triggering bet. Rarely enough to recover even a fraction of what's been played. The real hook is the near-miss illusion. Rows of stacked fireballs appear just above or below the visible reels, making it look like the next spin is always just one symbol away from something huge. Psychologists have documented how these near-miss events light up the same reward pathways in the brain as actual wins, driving players to keep chasing what always feels just out of reach. Tiki Fire's reel strips are programmed to show these near misses at a rate far higher than pure chance would allow, creating a sense of perpetual almost success. Internal audit sheets confirm the machine's RTP sits at just 85%, among the lowest on the floor. Staff noticed the widow's mounting losses, but casino policy barred them from intervening. A regulatory complaint was filed, but the Nevada Gaming Commission concluded that the near-miss design, while troubling, was still within code. Advocacy groups continue to push for reform, arguing that machines like Tiki Fire cross an ethical line by exploiting hope and grief. Overlays warn. Feature approximately 1 per 60 to 80. Average 5 to 20 times bet. RTP 85%. Near-miss illusion. Red X. Avoid. Casino documents and insider testimonies confirm. Every slot machine shown tonight operates at a return to player between 85 and 90%, far below the industry average for online games. Licensed titles like Wheel of Fortune and Game of Thrones consistently pay out less due to high branding costs, a fact reflected in their own regulatory filings. Bonus features, celebrated with lights and sounds, often trigger as rarely as once every 300 spins and pay back just 20 to 50 times the bet, far less than the hopeful visuals suggest. While the exact odds for progressive jackpots, such as the Grand on 88 Fortunes, remain proprietary, public data shows some odds as low as 1 in 10 million. What remains undisclosed are the full real strips, exact bonus odds by jurisdiction, and operator-specific settings, details still classified by manufacturers and regulators. The evidence is clear. These machines are engineered to retain wagers through psychological tricks and mathematical design. For players, understanding these facts is the best defense. As the documents show, the house edge is not a myth, it's the rule.